Good day, guitar community, and here is another episode of Guitar Review, and today we're looking at the Squier by Fender FSR Jaguar. Originally it was in sparkle finish and then it was repainted, but this particular guitar, it has got some funny story to it when it was purchased. So before we dive into the story, let me tell you, let me run you through the specs. So the specs, excuse me, the specs of this guitar. So this is a poplar body with Indian laurel fingerboard. And to be honest, the Indian laurel fingerboard, it does not feel the same as, let's say, the Powell Ferro or rosewood. The grain is tighter and it does look differently. 9.5-inch radius. C-shaped profile. The headstock, it looks like this, with no logo on it. And conventional layout, electronic layout on a Jaguar. This is a tone pot and this is a volume pot. The switch system, which enables and disables the neck and bridge pickups, and some knobs over here. But today's video is not about the specs of this guitar, but a surprise moment of this guitar. So back in 2022, so I saw this guitar on a website and I was trying to buy a guitar that would look differently and sound differently from Fender Stratocaster or Fender Telecaster. And for me, this model was sort of a like a test model. Like before you buy a really expensive and good quality instrument, you have an opportunity to try a cheaper version of a Squier and then decide if you really want it or not. So I decided to buy this instrument in sparkle finish. So I bought that instrument and started to wait for it to arrive. And a couple of days later, I knock at the door. I'm not home, but my wife was. So she opens up the door and she gets the package. And my wife, she calls me and then she says, "Your guitar has arrived." I said, okay. Open up the box, open up the back, pull the guitar out, and just check this out to make sure everything is okay with it, yeah? So she did. She unboxed the guitar and we were on the phone, and then she said, you know, I can hear something like bangling in that plastic bag the guitar was wrapped up in, yeah? And then she pulls out the guitar and we see this kind of really interesting picture that happened to the lacquer. Basically it's not a lacquer, it's a poly finish, but still. And when she took a picture of the guitar body and sent to me, and I was really surprised why it was happening to the finish, because to be honest with you, I had never ever seen this kind of issue with the guitar before. So I asked her to send me a couple of more pictures, and I could see that the cracking, the finish chipping and peeling, it was running all over the body, which was abnormal. So I called the shop immediately, the guitar shop, and I explained the issue. I sent them the pictures and they were like, wow, what's happening with the finish? I said, I don't know. You tell me. And then they said, you know, when we shipped the guitar, it was good. Well, okay, but what are we going to do now with this guitar? Because the finish is completely ruined. And they offered me a discount. They reduced the 2/3 of the price of the guitar, and it was bought for $450. So I accepted that offer, and I decided to, you know, kind of fix this issue. So this is how basically this color appeared. I decided to experiment on this guitar because when I got home basically and started looking at this instrument, I found lots of small issues with it. Several screws, let's say, talking about the issues, several screws on the pickguard had sheared off holes. It means that you unscrew or you screw in the screws and they did not go tight for some reason. So I had to, because the holes were really wide, so I had to fill some of the holes just the screw could hold on the body. And I looked over the guitar and I found another issue, another one that I have never ever seen on any other instrument. Have a look at this neck plate. If you can notice, the neck plate is placed off center. I mean, it's like here's the edge and here's the edge of the guitar body, and you can see that the edge of the neck plate is not in parallel with the body. It's something that I've never seen before. And then, as I mentioned, I decided to experiment with this guitar. So I literally took off the finish because it was not holding on the body. I took off the finish, and without sanding the silver body, I just painted this desert yellow color over the body, and it turned out really funky. The headstock, it was a bit harder to remove the finish from the headstock, and I used a sandpaper to do that. So I painted the headstock and the body in the same color. So now I can see that this color looks really nice. But again, the main issue with this guitar was the finish and small details like I mentioned, the screws and the neck plate. And you know, this kind of guitar was an unpleasant surprise to me, because I was hoping to get something that could have better quality, I think, but in fact this is what I received. For me, this guitar didn't pass like quality control. I mean, I wouldn't pass this guitar by the quality control restrictions, but somebody did, and this is how I got it. Here is the serial number. Let me show it to you. Okay, so it's a factory made. It's not like homemade guitar. It's a factory made guitar with these small issues. Yeah. And of course the paint job is sloppy because I didn't do my best to do the perfect paint job, because I was not sure if the instrument was good or not, but still. But I'm thinking of repainting this guitar and fix it properly, replace the pickups, maybe replace the potentiometers, and leave this guitar with me. So with this video, I'm not saying not to buy Squier guitars. I'm just, you know, introducing my experience of how I got this Squier Classic Vibe instrument. So As you can see, the first A string is absent. Let me still introduce how this guitar sounds. It sounds not bad, by the way.